Yo, what's going on, Sock Drawer? I gotta say a big holy shit on the last two videos, okay? The one where we talked about toxic Riven mains, and the one where we talked about Caitlyn traps. What the fuck? What? Okay, they both got a whole lot of views. Those videos were quite spicy. Plus, it was just a lot of fun baiting out all the queer Riven mains in the comments section that were a little bit transparent. But I want to extend the question onto you guys and asking you what you think a topic might be worth discussing. I kind of want to do a video on the potential assassin rework for Katarina next, because honestly it's kind of worrying to me. I don't know if you guys have read anything about it, but they're looking to potentially change up a lot of stuff about her, and it's not a good thing. But I want to know what topics you potentially, things that piss you off in League of Legends. Obviously, I'm going to roast mains like Yasuo mains and other characters like that, but I thought I'd start with like a Riven one because that's just the easiest fucking target in the world. But I want to open up a discussion with you guys because like the last few videos have actually had you guys discussing and talking in the comments amongst the Riven mains telling me to kill myself. Today though, I'm cooking up that tasty clickbait thumbnail to show and talk to you about a thing in League of Legends that we have all experienced it, and if you haven't experienced it, then you're likely the kind of person I'm talking about. So also just want you to take note that I'm actually playing support this time, so I don't have to pay attention and my gameplay won't be completely boosted. So what are we talking about today? I hear nobody ask because it's in the title of the fucking video. The thing that I am actually talking about today is a thing called the Team Tilter. So you may actually be asking yourself what the hell a Team Tilter actually is. So let me tell you a tale, my child. It's a tale of goblins and little green ghouls and one little dickhead whose entire purpose in life on Earth is to make you want to fucking strangle him. Now this is something that we've all encountered playing League of Legends, and when I say we, I mean every person has encountered this. Like if you've played League of Legends even for one game, there's a good chance you've experienced this in the one and only game you've ever played on it. Like if you somehow came here from like a fucking beauty vlog or some bullshit, I don't know how that could possibly happen, and you're like, what is League of Legends? You could still have possibly encountered this. And honestly, I think everybody can agree that the behavior I'm about to talk about is completely bullshit, and it's horrible. It loses games, and if you don't agree that it's bullshit behavior, then fuck. I'm not mad, son. I'm just disappointed. So to show you that I'm not just having a complete stroke and that I'm actually using like real words, I guess, I'll give you the definition on what being on tilt is, or just the word tilt. Now, tilt is a state of mental or emotional confusion or frustration in which a player adopts a less than optimal strategy, usually resulting in the player becoming over-aggressive. Now, this is a poker term. It's a phrase that originates from professional poker, but I guarantee that you're probably smart enough that I don't even have to explain to you how this translates so perfectly to League of Legends. And when I say Team Tilter, I mean this isn't the only kind of tilting there is. It is a legitimate psychological strategy in League of Legends that is genuinely effective, and it honestly is probably really effective against me too. I mean, you could be on like a sick as hell 10 win streak in ranked, you're smashing through your games, and you're in your promos for like gold or silver or diamond, or just anything really for that matter. Alright, so you get into your game, things are going alright, however, the jungler comes top lane to gank really early on, and you die. Alright, shit. Bad luck, you TP back to lane, and you try and grab some CS to catch back up. Little do you know that the enemy jungler is still waiting in that same bush, and you die again. You're now 0-2, and safe to say, you're ever so slightly pissed off, right? You know that you're better than that garbage Yasuo player, but Zach will just not leave your fucking lane alone. He will not let you 1v1 that Yasuo, ever. But before you know it, after Zach's put you on tilt, you're playing really overly aggressive because you're trying to make up for the time you've lost. You're trying to make up for the XP and the money you've lost. You're under the impression that despite the massive gold and item difference between you and Yasuo, you know you're the better player, and that's all you need. You repeat this process over and over again, constantly trying to pick up the slack, and you only end up shooting yourself in the foot. And it can end up carrying on even after you finish that one shitty game. You go into the next game fresh off a really hard loss, thinking you need to stomp the top laner twice as hard just to make up for the last game where you lost really hard. And the exact same thing happens because people can tell when you're tilted. Believe it or not, people can tell. And when you type in alt chat, it's apparent that you're pretty emotionally fragile and ready to take a pounding. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, I get pretty tilted sometimes when I'm playing because I do YouTube. And I'm certain a lot of you guys get tilted every so often as well. It's happened not that long ago. I got recognized in a game I didn't think too much about it, but before I knew it, I was getting like mercilessly camped in a ranked game by a Lee Sin, a Gnar, and a LeBlanc, who were just like sitting in the bush, proxying my lane, and just like killing me over and over and over again, and like my team just couldn't stop them doing anything. It was horrible. I was already feeling shitty for going like fucking 0-9 in lane, but that wasn't what tilted me. I don't get personally tilted off of simply doing badly. The thing that put me in this shitty, awful, tilted mindset was my own fucking team. Now let me know if this sounds familiar to you. Someone in your team maybe gets caught by face checking a bush, or maybe just running in the jungle with no vision, and they die, okay? They get caught and they get killed. All of a sudden, one of your fucking smug prick AD carries types into the chat, GG or good job. Are you starting to see where I'm coming with this? This is a guy that types in all chat, report if anything goes badly in lane, or he's constantly shit-talking in the chat without actually having the balls to be constructive with it. I mean, all this person will say is like passive-aggressive bullshit. They zero in on you as a target, they completely ignore their own mistakes, and instead of playing their game, they backseat game you to make themselves feel better at your expense. Now, they have better fucking map awareness of other people's lanes than they actually have of their own. It's quite extraordinary, actually. I was running motherfuckers down as Olaf the other day, and at the end of a team fight, I managed to run down two of the enemy team on my own when they were trying to get away. They were kind of fed, but I was a big ass tanky fucking Olaf. I was like throwing axes under a hail of pings telling me to back off, and it was honestly just one of the most distracting things I've ever experienced. And I stream League of Legends a lot where I talk to my chat, I try and talk as much as possible, but this was just like so different. The pings were like covering the area I was trying to pay attention to. Alongside that, there was also the ping noise, which was like very loud and kind of off-putting, like for what I was trying to do. I did eventually get that double kill onto those two people, but it wasn't after at least 8 or 9 pings telling me to fall back. When I knew what I was doing, I made the decision, and I decided that I was gonna, oh god. Oh, okay. And honestly, I'm not blaming that guy for pinging a lot. He was honestly just trying to be a nice guy, but it can be really tilting sometimes. Oh yeah, boys, let's go. We're losing really hard, but we got that. This is just like one of the few things that are part of like a Team Tilter's arsenal. Even in yesterday's gameplay when I was playing Riven, I got a lot of criticism from both my mid laner and my jungler for not moving around the map enough. Even though my jungler in particular was incredibly vocal about how bad I was at the game, this guy was fucking 0-8. And despite me telling him to just focus on himself, focus on his own play, and leave me alone, most importantly, because I'm just trying my best, it wasn't enough for the passive-aggressive remarks and comments that put me on tilt real fucking quick, and we actually ended up losing that game from yesterday's video. Now, these are the kind of guys that spam surrender votes as soon as you get 20 minutes, okay? You spam that vote at 20 minutes, and then after 20 minutes, you spam it. Oh, there's a ruling soul right there. What's good, buddy? Every 3 minutes, as soon as that surrender vote goes down, the person is constantly spamming. Even if you're fucking winning the game, the person will surrender. Even if you just ace them, they'll surrender. And, like, I don't get it. It puts everybody on tilt real quick alongside the passive-aggressive marks of just FF. Even if you're fucking winning, just because that person did shitty in lane, let's say they went like 0-3 top lane, and they don't want to play anymore, but you're prepared to carry them. But that's not enough. You can bet that every 3 minutes, Riven made 1-2-3 is on top of that FF button, spamming it more times than he fucking jacks off in a day, which is a lot. Honestly, it is so hard. It's hard enough. I'm not good at this game, right? I am the first one to admit that I'm not that good. I'm like gold 3. I just got demoted to gold 3 like yesterday on stream. I am not good at this game. And it is hard enough playing against 5 enemies at once, alright? But seriously, why add an extra fucking person to that why add an extra person to the game that I have to fight against by being that fucking asshole that just is constantly passive-aggressive, trying to put me on tilt and trying to lose the game by completely killing all fucking morale. But honestly, you know what? I can also admit that there's really nothing you can do about it. There's nothing that like Riot can really do. Saying good job in chat, if they looked at the tribunal, well, they can't prove anything about that. Like, that doesn't mean anything. They could be actually saying good job. It's not necessarily flame. It's all about the context, and that's something that Riot can't really, they're not prepared to do. And understandably, they're not prepared to do it. I mean, how the hell are they supposed to know if somebody's saying good job because somebody did a good thing, or because somebody fucking face-checked a fucking bush with a Riven in it? It's not a bannable offense, even if it is something that is really toxic and can lose you games. But this is a fucking plea to all you guys out there, all my sock drawer who I know are good people-ish. Before you go and type GG after your jungler gets hooked by a blitzcrank in a level 1 invade, consider how shitty that jungler probably already feels just from the simple fact of getting grabbed. Because at least that way, your jungler will feel like he has a team that is actually gonna support him. And it sucks sometimes. You feel like you have to like babysit and tiptoe around people's feelings. But that's unfortunately how the world works. So if you want to win games, don't tilt your fucking team. If your top laner goes 0-3 with no wards and he gets ganked again and dies, do not type good job in the chat. Do not type buy wards in the chat. Just say unlucky or something. Say it out loud. Flame him out loud if you must, because you cannot get chat restricted in real life. And that, unless you're into that shit. But that's the most important thing. So thanks for watching, guys. If you made it to the end of this video, please drop it a like. And if you're new and want to join the sock drawer, hit that subscribe button for me. And I will see you tomorrow.